In this video, I'll show you how to build a simple AI vehicle waypoint driving system in GDevelop. We'll make a car automatically drive between 3D waypoints using pathfinding with no coding required. Start by creating a new project and select the 3D driving template. Once the project opens, we'll prepare the car object. Open the car object, remove all existing behaviors, and add the 2D pathfinding behavior. This behavior will control how the car moves between waypoints. Next, add these object variables to the car: path ID, target point, path count, state, set the default value to patrolling, and direction. These variables control which path the car follows and in which direction. Now add a 3D box to the scene and name it Waypoint. Set the X, Y, and Z size to 20 and don't add any behaviors. Add object variables to the waypoint: path ID and path index. These variables allow multiple paths and waypoint ordering. Next, drag and drop waypoint objects directly onto the scene, placing them along the road to define the route I want the car to follow. Once the path is laid out, I select the player car object and update its instance variables, call setPathCount to 4, target point and path ID to 1. Finally, I need to tell the AI the correct order to drive. I select each waypoint individually and assign them a path index number in the Properties panel, starting from 1 and counting up to 4. Okay, let's jump into the event sheet and wire up the logic. Add the condition at the beginning of the scene. We need to make sure the engine handles each car individually, so I'm creating a repeat for each instance event for the player car. This is crucial. Without this, if you have 5 cars in the scene, they might all try to drive to the exact same spot or get confused. Inside this loop, we need to tell the specific car which waypoint to look at. We do this by adding a condition to pick all instances of the waypoint object. But we don't want all of them, we want the specific one that belongs to this car's path. So I'm adding a variable comparison to check if the path ID of the waypoint matches the path ID of the player car. We also need to know which step in the path the car is currently on, so I'm adding another condition here. We're checking if the path index of the waypoint matches the target point variable of the car. Essentially, this filters the world down to just the single waypoint object the car is supposed to be driving toward right now. Now that the correct waypoint is picked, let's make the car actually move. I'll go to the player car actions, find the pathfinding behavior, and choose Move to a Position. For the destination, we simply use the waypoint's X and Y expressions. This tells the pathfinding algorithm to calculate a route to that specific object we just filtered. Next, let's organize our behaviors using a state machine. I'm creating a new sub-event that checks if the player car's variable state is set to patrolling. Now, for the logic inside this state, we need access to those specific waypoint variables again. So I'm going to add the exact same conditions we used earlier, picking the waypoint instances, checking the path ID, and checking the target point. This ensures that when we are in the patrolling state, the engine definitely has the correct waypoint selected. Now we need logic to handle what happens when the car reaches the end of the road. We want it to ping-pong back and forth. I'm adding a sub-event to check if the target point is greater than or equal to the path count, which is the total number of waypoints. If it is, we change the car's direction variable to -1. This effectively puts the car in reverse regarding the list of points. Then I do the opposite. If the target point is less than or equal to 1, we set the direction variable back to +1, so it starts counting up the list again. While we're setting up these variables, let's also define how fast the car moves during this patrol state. I'll add an action to the player car to change the maximum speed of the pathfinding behavior. I'll set this to 250 for now. You can obviously tweak this number later depending on how fast you want your traffic to flow, but 250 is a good starting point for testing. Finally, we need a way to tell the car that it has actually arrived at the waypoint so it can start looking for the next one. I'm going to add a condition to compare the distance between two objects. We check the distance between the player car and the waypoint. If the distance is below 25 pixels, we consider that arrived. When the car is that close, we simply update the target. I'll add an action to change the target variable. We want to add the value of the car's direction variable. Because direction is either positive or -1, this single action handles driving both forwards and backwards along the path automatically.